Yes. So, welcome to Microsoft SQL Server Database Administration course. So, basically, as part of this course here, I will provide you daily recorded sessions. I will provide you. Okay. So, these sessions you can access through online. So, we have one portal is there. Our portal is there. In that portal, I will upload these sessions so that you can watch these recordings. Okay, you can't download the recordings, you have to watch online, so they will be available for us. Okay, right. In the same way, I will provide you soft copy materials. Okay, so soft copy notes I will provide you. In the same way, whenever I am using PPTs, I will provide you the PPT, soft copy PPT. In the same way, so I will provide you soft copy FAQs and scenarios, means regular scenarios, what are the common issues are there, which we are facing as part of SQL Server administration. So those FAQs I will provide you so that you can go through easily. Why? Because troubleshooting. See, as a database administrator, our regular job is remember troubleshooting. Okay. So tomorrow, once you enter in the organization, so troubleshooting is our regular activity. Why? Because tomorrow, if any performance issues are there, okay, any connectivity issues are there, downtime issues are there, those issues we have to handle. Those issues we have to handle as a database administrator. Just remember, in most of the every concept we'll see troubleshooting part we'll see in log shipping, mirroring, always on. In all the concepts we'll discuss here troubleshooting, which is very important for us. Okay, right, right. In the same way, I will share you some sample resumes. I will share you at the end of the class, so end of our session. So that you can modify those. Yeah, you can modify the resume. You can upload actually. Okay. So I will add you in our jobs group actually. In that group, yeah, whenever any new job is there, we'll upload the job. Okay. Yeah, generally our old students are there through reference will get some jobs. So those things, yeah, will keep you updated through this yeah group actually. Yeah. So those are see in the same way, I will provide my WhatsApp number like while practicing if any doubts are there. Okay. So any questions are there, or if you got some error while practicing, you can send me the error image. Okay, on WhatsApp. So either I am free, I will handle it. If other our team member is free, he will call you. He will resolve your doubts. Okay, that is just what is what about our course. Okay, right, right. So let's we will start with like in general, like what are the prerequisites are there here to work as a SQL Server DBA? We have very simple prerequisites are there here, like Windows basics are required for us. Windows basics means Windows Server actually, Windows Server 2012, Windows Server 2016, okay, Windows Server 2019, anything. So Windows basics, as well as we need some SQL basics are required for us. SQL basics. Okay, so how we are working with commands, different types of commands. What is index? What is stored procedure? Okay, what is primary key? What is foreign key? Okay, some SQL basics are required for us. Okay, no need to worry. I will share you Windows Basics plus SQL Basics videos. like Windows Basics videos, which has like 3 to 4 hours video. SQL Basics also 3 to 4 hours recorded sessions I will share you. If you don't have SQL Basics knowledge, you can go through these record. Okay. Yes. These are the very basic prerequisites are there to work as a database administrator. Okay. So, in the same way, like what are the major responsibilities are there? Major responsibilities or major activities as a major activities of a DB. Just remember, first point we have to understand our regular job is monitoring and troubleshooting. Okay, as a database admin, our regular job is what? Monitoring and troubleshooting. That's why tomorrow, once you enter in the organization, so yeah, if any issues are there, like performance issues are there, okay, if any connectivity issues are there, downtime issues are there, all those things we have to handle here as a database admin. So our job is what? Handling the issues. Okay, that's remember that's why in detail knowledge is required for us to troubleshoot the problem. Remember, in detail knowledge is required. That's why I will go through maximum in detail as part of our course. Okay, so architecture level we'll see. Okay, almost every concepts I will show you architecture. It's internal so that it will be easy for you to work tomorrow in the organization. Okay, right, right. Okay, see what are the major responsibilities are there? Already we know our job is what? Maintenance. And our job is database and database server maintenance is our job. Just remember, we are maintenance people. We are not developers. We are not testers. We are maintenance people. Okay. That's why once you enter in the organization, remember, as a database administrator tomorrow. So once you work for 3 to 6 months, then it becomes almost an easy job for us. Why? Because almost also 70 to 80% yeah, repeated issues are there. Will work with the same issues. Repeated. Okay, so that's why remember our major responsibility is the database and database server maintenance. Okay, maintenance is our job. Okay, database is nothing but what, like sales database, HR database. I think maybe we are familiar with all the. A database is a collection of related data. Generally, we have seen like sales database, HR database, students database. Different types of databases may be there in the organization. Okay, to connect and work with the database, we are using say database servers we are using like SQL Server, Oracle Server, Sybase. Okay, database servers we are using here. Okay, to connect and work with the SQL Server, we are going to means to connect and work with databases. Remember, we are using what? Database servers. Okay, so many database servers are available here in the market. Database servers are nothing but remember our RDBMS products. RDBMS products, relational database management systems here. Relational database management. Okay, so means what, like in the market, so many RDBMS products are there, like Oracle, MS SQL, MySQL, okay, DB2, like various RDBMS products are available here in the market. Okay, so but see, like today, if you see our MS SQL Server is very powerful RDBMS product which is available in the market. Arkle also very good product actually. So I'm not saying Arkle is weak, but as compared with Arkle's here, our SQL Server cost is very less, very less. And mostly we are working in graphical user interface environment, GUI environment. Okay, directly say to connect and work with SQL Server, we can use one tool, Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio. I will show you later step by step from tomorrow onwards. Don't get any confusion. Just as part of today's session, I have to show you total overview. Okay, that's why by using this Microsoft SQL Server Management Studio, so we are going to connect and work with SQL Server. Server may be there anywhere. Okay, SQL Server may be there in our local laptop, in the same machine, or server may be there somewhere in the network. We can connect and work with SQL Server here. Okay, so by using this tool called SQL Server Management Studio. Okay, so check here. This is one of my server actually. So FRR info is my system name, / cards is the server name. I will show you everything how to install from scratch, no need to worry. So SQL Server 15.0 version, 2019 version, 2019 version actually. In that we have databases, it's a collection of databases. In the server we have what? Databases are there. We'll see like how we are working with these databases step by step, how to install SSMS also. I will show you very clearly. Check here, some green icon is there, means server is there. Here server is running. It is a local server. Green icon is there. See, we can connect to the server which may be there somewhere in the network. Through IP address here, directly we can connect to the server which may be there somewhere in the network. So this is one of our production server, one of my clients is there. So I'm running one small company. So for our company, one small client is there. That client's server it is. Check here, question mark is there. If you see question mark, it is a remote server. Means what? This server is not there in my laptop. Okay, it is there somewhere in the network. With the static IP or public IP, we can access the server. Okay, I will show you later in detail. No need to worry. Okay, so like this, like through SSMS here, we can connect and work with SQL Server. Yeah, simple tool is it. Simple tool is it. Through this tool, we can connect and work with SQL Server. It is easy, sir. Graphically, we can work with. If want to create any logins, if want to grant permissions, graphically we can work with, as well as by using the command also we can work with here. If I right click on this server name, actually remember 15.0 version, it is 2019 version, one of our latest version. See here, new query. By using new query, we can start working with it. I want to see what is my server name. Always remember after typing the command, select the command and execute it. See here, it is showing very clearly. This is our cards, is our server name. The same way, I am working with which version. We can check here, see, at the rate version. Always select the command, execute. See here, Microsoft SQL Server 2019. Okay. It's what? SQL Server 2019 version. Okay, like this here, like very clearly it is saying we are working with which server, we are working with which version. We can check by using simple commands. See here? Right. So simple commands, 1-2 lines commands we have to remember. If lengthy commands are there, no need to remember. Just we can maintain those commands in a file. I will provide you soft copy. In that soft copy, most of the commands already have written. We'll see that. Okay, no need to worry. Just remember, if lengthy commands are there, directly what we can do, we can copy the command, we can run that commands here directly. If lengthy commands are there, no need to by heart the command. So that is like, that's the first advantage of SQL Server is what easy to work with. Second advantage we have seen, its cost is very less. Okay. Third advantage is there. Now today we have Microsoft has their own cloud platforms here, Azure, Microsoft Azure. In this cloud platform, if you are running SQL Server or if you are managing our databases, its cost is very less. Very less here. One more benefit is that why today the clients are going with SQL. Okay, so these are the various benefits are there with SQL Server. Yeah, check here like database and database server maintenance is our job as a DBA. Why? Because users are working through some application. Okay, so whenever any performance issues are there, connectivity issues are there, downtime issues are there. Okay, those things we have to handle as a DBA. Okay, that's why our regular activity is what? Yeah, maintenance is our regular activity. Check here, like one of our client is there. Previously, one client was there, CIBC, one of a bank in Canada actually. So backend is a SQL Server. Means what? Whenever we make here any transactions, the request is submitted to application server. Application server will submit the request to our database server in the background. We'll see the transaction flow also we'll see. Okay, so this will be like actual data is present in the backend in the form of database. Clear, right? Yes. So check here, one of my company client is there, Ministry of Education and Higher Education. We have developed like 2-3 projects for this client. Backend, we are using SQL Server backend. Latestly, we have developed one new project for this client. Yeah, dropout tracking system. Means school level, how many dropouts are there? Everything we can track. Actually, this is new. So I have presented the system to Ministry of Education, is the central minister. So same thing. Okay. So backend we are using SQL Server. Okay. So SQL Server 2017 we are using backend. The users are working actually right now. This is our application education management tool. Okay, so backend is there, front end is there with the .NET and other technologies. So backend is there with the SQL Server. Okay, so still we are supporting this client. This is one of the application, and one more application we have developed. Dropout tracking system for school. Okay, means what are the dropouts are there at the school level, district level, region level. All those things are tracked in this system. For same client actually, attendance and dropout tracking system, daily attendance plus dropouts are tracked here. So backend we are using here MS SQL 2017 version. Why? Because this client has SQL Server 2017 license here with this client. So that's why we are using MS SQL 2017. Okay, that's it. Major responsibilities we have to understand. So that's why our regular job is here monitoring and troubleshooting. Right? Monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job. Okay, so regular activity or regular job in the organization means what? Once you enter into a company, so yeah, you can start here monitoring if any errors are there, any issues are there. So then if any problems are there in the database or problems are there in the server, then we have to troubleshoot those problems. Clear, right? That's why monitoring and troubleshooting is our regular job as a DBA. The sort of major activities are there or major roles are there. Generally, we'll start with the installations and configurations. Means what? Like we have to make the setup ready. Whenever a new client is there, we have to make the setup ready. But remember, installations and configuration, this is not our regular job. Why? Because once you enter in the organization, complete setup is ready actually. So we are working with that setup. Okay, complete setup is ready directly. We are not going to install SQL Server regular. Okay, the same way, like providing security for data, okay, is our major responsibility. In the same way, like scheduling backups. Why? Because database is working fine today, but unexpectedly if database is crashed, something happened. So to avoid the data loss scenarios, remember, we have to schedule the backups. If database crash, we can take the data from the backups here. If the database crash. Okay. Yes, there is no data loss scenario. To avoid the data loss scenario, we can get back data from the backups. We'll see this all this in detail practically. Once again, remember all the concepts I will show you practically, including clustering, performance tuning, mirroring, log shipping, always on, replication, backups, security, automation. All these we'll see in detail practically. Why? Because like generally for clustering and always on, we need 3-4 machines are required for practicing. We can create those machines with VMware or our server is there. So I will show you in our server by taking say MSTSC. In this server, I have created the setup actually by in creating multiple machines. I will show you the right. Then in the same way, like performance tuning means handling the performance issues. Why? Because today the database performance or query performance is good. Tomorrow if something happens, we have to handle those issues here. What is the reason why the performance is Varaprasad, yes, still we have our servers, but we know that the we have not opened the institute. Okay? So that's why uh, uh, you can practice in your laptop itself. I will show you how to install VMware. Through VMware, we can install. We can create multiple machines. We can practice. Okay? This close actually institute. Nobody yet. That's all our working from home. That's why directly I will show you like in our yeah the same laptop, so you can practice actually okay with VMware by creating multiple machines. Okay, that's it. Performance tuning is one of our regular activities here as a team. Regularly we'll get tickets here, performance related tickets. Okay, those tickets also we have to handle. Okay, the same way, like connectivity issues we have to handle if someone is unable to connect. Okay, uh, downtime issues we have to handle. Suppose let's say suddenly my database is down, our server is down. Okay, so we have to handle why the database is down. We have to troubleshoot the problems. In the same way, like upgrading SQL Server or migrating SQL Server. Okay, so configuring high or working with high availability features. Basically, remember these high availability features are there to reduce downtime or to avoid downtime. We'll see again in detail here in SQL Server means what these high availability features allows to maintain duplicate copy of database as it is copy of database. High availability features. Okay, so here we have log shipping is it, transaction log shipping, database mirroring, always on, various high availability features are there. Compulsory remember for every client we have to configure these high availability features. Why? Because tomorrow something happen, if production server is down or database is down, how we can make the transactions to continue. Just remember, like compulsory, we have to configure that high availability. Okay, so to avoid what downtime, to avoid data loss scenarios. We'll see this in detail. These are the various activities are there, but in the same way, implementing automation. Why? Because remember, as a DBA, 80% tasks we can automate here. Means what? All these backups, high availability features, all these things we can automate actually. No need to perform manually. No need to perform manually. We can automate these things here. That's it. DB. Okay. So that's remember like tomorrow, why? Because 100, 200 servers are there. How you can perform every task manually, right? Not possible. That's why we will automate. Okay, like suppose tomorrow, like backup fail, like we have scheduled backups to run morning 3 o'clock. But yesterday night backup fail, then we have to troubleshoot the problem. Okay, that is the reason we have discussed monitoring and troubleshooting is one of our regular job. Okay, that's why for troubleshooting, remember some in-depth knowledge is required for us. That's why I will discuss up to maximum extent, which is possible within our 50 days. So our course will be 40 to 50 days, daily 1 hour class. Okay, so you can see most of the scripts I have written here in my blog, azure-blogspot.com. As well as I will write articles to different websites also. Okay, different websites. As well as here, like basically like I'm a Microsoft certified trainer, MCT. So that's why, like whatever the official curriculum is there, whatever the official, yeah, Microsoft certified trainer. So generally, this we have to renew this for every 1 year. Just recently, I have renewed. Okay, 4 days back. Every 1 year, they will check our teaching skills, then they will issue this certificate. So as well as Microsoft will provide complete access to their materials also, official materials. Okay, so that I can download the official materials freely. Okay, I can use for the training programs. This database administration right now official material is there, I think 2017. So I will provide you that official material also so that you can go through that material. Okay, right, right. Yes. So that's like, yeah, just here, what are our major responsibilities are there as a database administrator. Basically, like here, we have like 70764 was there previously, our exam was there here. Administering SQL database infrastructure 70764. Now, right now, Microsoft has retired this exam. Okay, maybe we'll get the new exam series. But in the cloud, we have uh, 300 series is there, DP 300 series is there. So administering relational database on Microsoft Azure, which is a cloud platform. Almost all here like 70% like how we are working as a DBA in local data center or on-premises data center. Same thing we are working in cloud with 30-40% different options are there. So cloud DBA also I'm starting the batch tomorrow, 8 o'clock, morning 8 o'clock. Means like after completion of this course, our SQL DBA or DBA course, then you can attend this. Okay. So like this, like I have access to the official curriculum actually. So, yeah, whatever the concepts are there in the certification oriented. So those concepts, okay, I will show you in detail, no need to worry. Microsoft will provide the handbook also for the Microsoft certified trainers. Okay, as a MCT, I can access all the official Microsoft materials. I will share you this book along with our soft copy material. You can go through this book also. This is very good material is there. Okay, directly they have started with security, database roles, like various yeah, data restores. Okay, then automation is there. Okay, uh, then the same way like monitoring is there, how we can monitor easily. Monitoring is very, very important. Why? Because our regular job is what? Monitoring and troubleshooting. Troubleshooting is also very, very important. Okay, troubleshooting is it like and all the labs are there. See? In every module, labs are there. You can see the lab answers are there. You can go through step by step also. You can practice. Okay, this is the official curriculum. Is it? Apart from this, we are going to discuss here most of the things. Okay, here clustering is not there. Yeah, some features are not there here. We'll discuss all the administrative activities along with certification. We are covering more than the certification. Okay, but these modules are enough for our certification. Can go through this material parallelly, which is very good. Okay, I will share as part of it. Okay, yeah. So let's see. We'll start with yeah, SQL Server Introduction part. We'll see. Then we'll see how we are working as a DBA here. After that, we'll conclude the session. We'll discuss the timings. We'll discuss at the end of the class. Okay. Okay. Let's say we'll start with Microsoft SQL Server. Already I've said like Microsoft SQL Server is what? One of our database RDBMS product, right? Relational Database Management System. Okay, yeah, Alam. I will conclude the session after 10 minutes, but we'll see. We can change the time if possible for all people. We can change to 8 to 9 morning. So except tomorrow, yeah, today and tomorrow we can continue this time. If problem is there for people, we can change to 8 to 9 hours, 8 to 9, 1 hour before. Our Prasad is comfortable after 11. Yeah, we'll discuss the timings for Prasad, no problem. Okay, yeah. So we'll start with SQL Server. Basically, like remember SQL Server we know already, one of a RDBMS product developed by Microsoft. Right. So many RDBMS products are there in the market, right? Like Oracle is there, Sybase, DB2, PostgreSQL, MySQL. So many RDBMS products are there. But today, we have seen like SQL Server has a very good market actually. If you see it, today the number of clients of SQL Server are increasing very fast. Okay, that's remember like one of the RDBMS, powerful RDBMS product. So we can deploy here SQL Server both in on-premises environment. We can deploy on-premises environment means it's nothing but local data center. Local data center we can deploy, as well as in cloud also we can deploy say SQL Server. So it may be Microsoft Azure or AWS or Google Cloud Platform. Anywhere we can deploy say SQL Server. It is cloud ready actually. So yeah, in the same way, like whenever we say that this is RDBMS product, relational database management system, what is the purpose of RDBMS product? Mainly here we can use SQL Server to create and manage databases, right? Yeah, basic purpose of SQL Server is what? Creating and managing databases. And we know already like database creation is our database creation is done by our developers team, but our job is here like maintenance. Our job is what? Maintenance actually. Okay, database creation is not our job. So our job is maintenance. In general, we have developers team is there. Developers team will do this database creation activities. Okay, so our job is what? Maintenance. Okay, right. So as well as here, SQL Server supports here powerful BI features also, business intelligence features also, SSIS, SSRS, SSAS here. Okay. SQL Server integration services, SQL Server reporting services, SQL Server analysis services. But remember, as a core DBA, our job is to work with the databases. Okay, so that's remember SQL Server is a collection of 4 servers actually. One is a database server or database engine, okay, which is used to process the queries. Then these are the remaining 3 servers. Okay, IS, RS, AS. Totally we have 4 servers are there as part of SQL Server. One is database server and other 3 servers are there, totally 4 servers. That's remember like we have seen it to connect and work with SQL Server. To connect and work with SQL Server, we are using one tool called SSMS, SQL Server Management Studio. See here, that's why whenever we are connecting through this SQL Server Management Studio, so many tools are there, but this is the free tool actually. That's why we can use this tool here, SSMS, to connect and work with SQL Server. Check here, while connecting, it is asking which server you want to connect here. Database engine or database server is the one where we are working regularly. Database engine. These are your analysis services, reporting services, integration services. These are the other 3 servers where our MSBI team is working. Microsoft Business Intelligence team is working. But as a core DBA, our job is what? We have to work with database engine or database server. Okay, which we can connect. We have seen we can start working with databases. Okay, Check here like another important point. SQL Server supports here. Yeah, one is SQL is there, which is a non-procedural language. Non-procedural language here, which is nothing but what? SQL or SQL commands. In the same way, it supports here like for programming, we have procedural language is there here for programming. T-SQL. T-SQL, transact structured query language here. T-SQL is a procedural language here, programming language. Maybe in Oracle, we have seen like PL/SQL is there, right? In Oracle, here we have T-SQL. Okay, transact structured query language for programming purpose. If somebody is working as a Oracle DBA, I will share you architecture differences between Oracle and SQL Server. What is there in Oracle, what is there in SQL Server. Okay, so that it will be easy for you to to work in the organization or to understand. Okay, yeah, tomorrow if somebody is working as a Oracle DBA, we'll see. I will share you. Okay, right. In the same way, like last point we'll see, we'll conclude session. Just I will take 5 minutes more. SQL Server here supports two types of working environments. It's very, very important for us. Two types of working environments. One is the like standalone environment is there, which is for small scale applications, right? So small scale applications where we are maintaining single production server. Single production server, we can maintain one or more. We can maintain here one or more standby servers. Standby servers. So here in SQL Server, we have seen just now we have seen some high availability features. We'll elaborate something more tomorrow. But here log shipping, database mirroring, always on. Here these are the some of the high availability features are there. By using these features, what we can do, we can maintain as it is copy of database in different server. Let's say this is my production server where the applications or users are working with my database. Actually, there is no database icon. Okay, let's see the database. So applications here, like whenever the user makes transaction through webs, yeah, this is my user. Whenever the user makes transaction by opening some some browser or some app, request is submitted to which server? Applications. Let's say you're opening PhonePe or Paytm, something. Once we make transaction, request is submitted to which server? Application server. Okay, this application server is submitting request to our SQL server in backend here. Okay, SQL server, for example, which is our database server. Then remember, this SQL server works with the data present in the database, right? Inserting, updating, deleting, fetching data. Then it submits the response to the application server, okay, or web server. Then this web server is responding to the user, okay, your transaction success. But suddenly, tomorrow if this database crash or server crash or network issue is there, then remember application is down, right? Application is down. Whenever application is down, immediately we have to understand business loss is there to our client. Business loss is there, right? Yes. So that's why remember this. That's why we have to make the database immediately up and running. That is the reason as a database administrator, what we can do, we can maintain some standby servers here. Standby means what? Same copy of database will maintain in one more server. We have to understand. As it is copy, database to database copy. Means what? Whatever the changes are made in this database, parallelly they are applied to standby database parallelly, automatically. We have seen by using these concepts what we can do. We can maintain as it is copy of the database in different server also. Suppose tomorrow in the event of this production server down, no problem. Immediately we'll make this application to continue working with which database? Standby server. Immediately your application will start working with very less downtime or no downtime. Okay, so that is like a compulsory. Remember, standby servers we have to maintain compulsory in real time. So this standby server we are maintaining by using these concepts here, either log shifting, database mirroring, or always on. Always on is the latest feature. That's why we are preferring always on. Always on. What is on? Database is on. Either here it is on or here or another server, another server, another server. Like multiple standby servers also we can maintain here in always on. Clear, right? What is the meaning of high availability feature? High availability allows to maintain what? Duplicate copy of database in different server. Okay, duplicate copy. Tomorrow something happened here. Immediately we'll make the application to continue working. Later we can troubleshoot this problem. Understood, right? Yes, that's like in case of high availability features, remember, we can maintain the standby servers, okay, to avoid the downtime, to minimize the downtime. Okay, but tomorrow I will show you what are the major differences are there between log shifting, mirroring, always on in detail. But this is the normal transaction flow we have to understand. Whenever the user makes some changes, some request is submitted to web server or application server. From there, request is coming to our SQL server. So SQL server will process the request. It is sending the response back. And see, whatever the changes are made in this production database copy, live database copy, same changes I am maintaining in standby database. So that tomorrow something happen here, let them to start working here, later troubleshoot the problem. Okay, so that is like what is the purpose of this high availability features. Last point we'll see, SQL Server supports one more environment called clustering environment. One is the standalone for small scale applications. Cluster is there, just remember, cluster is nothing but group of servers which are connected to each other, which are working with a single name or virtual name. Generally here virtual name, virtual IP will be there, we'll see. So basically remember, we have to understand, I will show you again in detail. So cluster is like our customer care department, like 10 people are sitting, someone is calling, I will take the call. Okay, means what? Lengthy waiting queue is not there, right? Same thing, multiple servers are processing the queries here in the background. That's why remember, like lengthy queue is not there. That's why we'll get performance benefits we'll get. That's why remember, for medium and large scale applications, compulsory we have to go with what? Cluster environment, where we need minimum 2 servers. We can have maximum number of servers limit is not there here in clustering. Okay, no limit for number of servers. Right. So that is like different 2 types of working environments are there in SQL Server by using simple commands here. Once we connect to SQL Server, by using this simple command, we can check whether we are working in standalone environment or cluster environment. Here, take new query, paste and run. Search false, it is saying 0, means it is a standalone environment. By using the right clicking also, we can see here properties is clustered false, right? It is a standalone environment. Already I have set up the cluster also in my server, one of my server. Okay, so by using VMware, here see, cluster is nothing but we have a group of servers already have set up here. This is my Active Directory server, which is like a DNS server. This is node 1. This is node 2. Okay, like this is like even in your laptop also by using VMware, you can configure the setup. I will show you how to configure Windows cluster first. On top of Windows cluster member, we'll configure SQL cluster actually. Okay, so I will show you both. I will show you in detail, no need to worry. So check it, same thing in cluster also we can connect to any one of the server. We can start working. Here one clustered setup is there in my machine. One, if I right click on this server properties is clustered to it is saying here. It is a cluster environment. We can see how many nodes are there in the cluster, how many servers are there, everything we can monitor. Like this, I will show you this one, how to build the cluster also, no need to worry. Okay, yes, let's see what we'll do. We'll conclude the session here. We'll continue again. Just as part of today's session, we have discussed what we are going to provide as part of our work. Already have said certification, uh, yeah, exam handbook also will provide you from Microsoft website. Means it is you should not use for commercial purpose. Okay, so in the same way, prerequisites we have seen. Okay, and what are the major responsibilities? Main point we have to understand. Our regular job is monitoring and troubleshooting. Why? Because database and database server maintenance is our job. And third point we have to understand, to connect and work with SQL Server, we are using one tool called SSMS. And last point we have to understand, SQL Server supports two types of working environments, standalone and cluster environment. Okay, once again tomorrow I will start from here, from scratch. We'll start with the SQL Server. We'll go step by step. Okay, right.